Okay, this is going to be kind of fun. I'm a little excited about it, not only because I get to be the timekeeper and tell people to get off the stage when they have their 2 minutes are up. So what we're going to do is we've got 5 different statements. We're going to put those to 2 industry experts. One's the for and one's the against, or it might just be different points of view. Each statement is discussed for a limited time frame. So speaker 1 gets a minute, speaker 2 gets a minute, and then while they have their 2 minutes of discussion, you get to vote. And whoever wins the vote gets to stay on stage with me, and the loser has to go into the audience. So I'm just saying, like, you hold the power of who gets to hang out with me on stage and who you have to look at for the rest of this hour. So we're going to take a glimpse into the future of nutrition. Question 1, I'm going to be calling up on stage. We've got speaker 1. Andrew Steele from DNA Fit. He's the head of product development and a former Olympic athlete. He was supposed to show up and do the 5K with me this morning, but he didn't make it. I was sad. And Andrew, in your chair number 1. Chair number 2, Thomas Wilckens, Dr. Wilckens from Inventus. He is the CEO and CSO. Dr. Wilckens, come on up stage. Okay, so you each have your chair, you each have your microphone. I have my stopwatch on my phone. So at 1 minute, I'm going to cut you off.
Okay.
And he's going first. So our first question, related to behavior. Does more and better information lead to behavioral change? Andrew, take it away.
Okay, so one part of my CV that wasn't mentioned there, which perhaps is relevant to this, is that I spent most of my growing life as an Olympic athlete. And in sport, the greatest coaches, and that is the role that when you're giving advice in fitness or nutrition, you play a role as a coach. They tell the athletes and the sports people the why behind what they're advising to do, rather than just prescribing a training program. Anyone can give advice. And this is where better information, more information comes in. How can you better educate someone as to why they need to make these environment or lifestyle changes when you ignore entirely half of the picture, which could be, in our case, what we do, genetic data, genetic variants which affect your response to the environment changes that you have. In an industry that's rife with one-size-fits-all approaches, or what's hot fits all approaches in terms of advice on nutrition, on micronutrients, on caffeine, for example. If you don't know more about your own response and yourself, then you have absolutely no way of motivating yourself as to the why.
Not bad. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Actually, 0.30 seconds. So, Doctor, take it away.
So it's your business model. You're probably one of your best customers, but I think you're not going to reach 90% of the world population. We all want to live sinful. We all want to have a life where we can do whatever we want to do, and we want to have smart food, smart advice, smart drugs, every smart interventions that we can build, and which are good for the industry, by the way, so we can make a lot of revenue. So some changes, like behavioral changes only with some education, is not going to have a socioeconomic impact, as we need it to reduce the health burden of diseases which are chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis. All those conditions you can't wave away with education and behavioral change, as much as I support his business model. So vote for him.
Okay, that even came in less than a minute. Gentlemen, you have 2 minutes to continue your dialogue as to whether you think you should win, or, I mean, Tom, you kind of think Andrew should win, but you make the call. You've got your little voting devices. Okay. Andrew?
Okay, so as I understand your argument is that this is too limited a piece of data in order to elicit behavioral change. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice business model, and hopefully you get rich. But I want to see the disease burden of society being reduced, because we now pay 20% of our revenue to just healthcare, and this is not really going to happen with some kind of business models, which I really like.
Yeah, good, thanks. Well, let me, I say counter maybe in this case, in terms of, well, ideally we would all eat zero refined carbohydrate. We would all know exactly how to balance our macronutrient ratios. We'd all know exactly what dosage of micronutrients to take and what vitamins, and we'd adhere to that long term. In reality, people don't. And this is where we come in with more data so they can almost focus their battles from the start. So you can better focus what you do and therefore elicit better behavioral change, because behavioral change comes from a positive feedback loop. If we give all the advice at the start, we can't win.
Okay, so I have more than a minute now. The thing is, I'm fully on your side. We need more and better data, but being an MD, we have to really look at the molecular pathways. We have to create something for the audience like Google Maps of disease. Most of the time, we don't really know what we do. 80% of drugs are spent to patients that are not responding to the drug. This is something we can solve. And the nutraceutical industry has an even more greater problem. How do you prove a health claim? So the technologies are there. It's like applying metabolomics, proteomics, machine learning, and all that stuff. But you have to come up with sustainable business models, new inventive ways to really decipher complexity. And it's not just genomics, it's much more. And it's really a tremendous challenge. And I'm really curious to learn how this industry is tackling a problem where pharma is struggling to find the validation for his products. So this is going to be the debate I'd like to see happen.
Very good.
Okay, we've got our 40 seconds left, and I believe we have concluded our vote, yes? Okay.
Come on, guys.
Andrew, 53%. Up. People are.
We share a seat.
Tom, you've made like a late surge there.
51.
51. Okay, it's coming down to the wire here.
Hold on a second.
Oh no! It was see, both of you guys want to hang out with me on stage.
both
I know
won.
what it is.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Seeing as
That's brilliant. They're like, do we get both you to sit? Okay, so it was a 50-50. Well done.
Good.
Well, thanks to our first panelists.
Yeah, good.
We expected that.
Okay. Elisa, do you think we should let them both sit on stage, or do I get to kick them both into the audience?
Can we have a race to decide?
One seat. Who wants the seat?
I suppose we do a 400-meter run. That's what we should do, a 400-meter race to decide.
That's not fair. No, former Olympian. Okay.
Now we go on a balance.
Okay. Andrew's in the audience.
I'm going. It's all yours. It's all yours.
Tom's with me.
We split the time.
I got to respect the late surge.